Welcome to Free Thinkers Fireside, where we put the human and humanists in one cozy chat at a time. It is spooky season and it's fundraising season because they're the same, because I decided it. So we're going to have our live stream for the very special event that we're having tomorrow, which I'm going to play a promo about right now. Yes, gonna do that. Watch me do it. Okay, screen. Yes. I didn't set it up this before, guys. I did it at the last second. So here we are. Okay, share and play. Nope. I did not do that correctly. I thought I shared my screen. Never mind. I suck. I suck at the things. Okay, now we're going to do it again. So, technical difficulty. Ignore me. I am in a rush. Okay. There we go. Guys, get.
Hi. I'm not here to scare you. Unless you don't donate to our Halloween fundraiser. We're raising cash for 3 very important causes. Sadie Hergert, she's awesome. Cosmic Kyle, he's literally out of this world. And Ember, who's basically a real-life firecracker. And don't worry, we're not using your donations to buy candy corn. Because let's be real. Yeah. Who even invented that? So please, drop some coins, or bills, we're not picky, into our spooky fund. Every dollar helps, and hey, it might just save you from a very mild haunting. Thanks, ghouls and boys.
All right, let's get this party started, motherfuckers. All right. All right. Let's say hi to all the people. Hi. So we're going to go around everything else who I am. Cynthia, go. Who are you?
I am Cynthia. Okay, what else?
What do you do in this community?
Oh, okay, yes. My name is Cynthia. I am the Black Non-Believers affiliate leader in Chicago. Go Bears. And I talk, I speak, I do podcasting. I will be starting a new channel in November called The Roots Matter. And yeah, those are the things that I do. Next.
Lisa, you're next.
Hello, everyone. So I am Mandisa Thomas, and I am the founder and president of Black Non-Believers, based out of Atlanta, the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I do all of the things organizing. I also speak, table. Cynthia and I are members of the Godless Gospel Music Ensemble.
Yeah.
I am also I'm also a humanist celebrant, so I can do weddings, memorials, and all of the things. So the promo, the inclusion of candy corn is just so ironic, and it's giving me, yes.
That was a West edition. I did not write that script.
All right. Wes was feeling Mandisa and all the rest of us who think that candy corn is crap in our Shonda.
Come
yes.
on. If you get the kind that's made with actual real honey, it's okay. I like candy corn. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm about to say no, you cannot.
Jamie's here.
More for me. You guys can hate it all you want. That means I get to eat more.
Okay, exactly. Okay, fine. That's all for you, honey. Coleman, who are you?
I'm up. Hey, I'm Coleman Watts. I'm the host of the Think This Through channel. I make silly videos about critical thinking. I also just got to see the Godless Gospel at NanoCon recently, and they were awesome. So everybody check them out too.
Thank you, Coleman.
And nice to see you all.
Okay, Miss Candy Corn Lover, who are you?
Well, I am usually just Ms. Non Sequitur or Aaron Non Sequitur sometimes. But tonight, clearly, I am sister in non sequitur of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Chaotic.
Oh, I think you're
Audio, I think.
Repeat
repeat
por
yourself because your
favor.
audio went out a bit.
Is it my mic? Is that better?
Yes, much
Okay.
better. Okay.
So
again,
usually I'm Ms. Non Sequitur, and I do nothing but make really hilarious comments in comment sections and pop up in other people's live streams to annoy people. And tonight I am Sister Erin Non Sequitur of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, the Chaotic Hedonist.
All right.
awesome. Yay.
Praise be.
Okay.
Praise be.
All right. Kyle, who are you?
Hey, I'm Cosmic Kyle. I go by that on the interwebs. I'm an astrophotographer, and I take pictures of the cosmos with one of the world's smallest digital telescopes. That's pretty much it.
Yay.
That's my whole
One
personality.
of the people we're supporting.
All right, cool.
Yes. Okay, Scott, who are you?
Scott Dickey. I'm one of the hosts of the Talk Heathen show and nonprofits on occasion. And I will admit wholeheartedly that I like candy corn as well. So I'm a fan of candy corn. Although, I can't eat too much of it, but
it's true. It will make you sick
can.
if you
We
eat
do
more
what we
than
can.
Freeze-dried candy corn. It's really good.
No.
Not sure I'm making it.
Again,
Double
side
whammy.
eye.
I'm
the
also
ones agree with me.
I'm also a dungeon master in a campaign that currently has Jamie the Blimey, and Helen is taking part in that as well. And by day, I'm a math teacher, so that's my secret identity during the daytime.
Nice.
Do you have a cape for that?
I do, but I'm not. My contract only allows me to bring it out during class time.
All right. Well, now I have to lower my expectations. Ember, who are you, Ember?
I'm Ember. Better than Ember here on YouTube. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I speak at events. I met several of these fine people at the ARC protest in Kentucky where I spoke at that event. For example, I run a bunch of local nonprofit organizations. I'm an atheist minister. But on the YouTubes, you might know me from my own channel, from the Job and Jug Show, from Hot Topic, from Transpositions Weekly, and a few other places. It gets complicated. So for your convenience, all my links are on my website, betterthanember.com.
Awesome sauce. Okay, Sadie, who are you?
I am Sadie, and I am a scientist without a job. Well, I'm working as a tutor part-time, tutoring biology. I'm from Chicago too, Cynthia.
Yay!
I'm from Minnesota, but I live in Chicago, so. But
It's okay.
so I'm considered initiated. So.
Yay. Okay. Yay. And see, so Kyle, Ember, and Sadie are the people that we're doing this fundraiser for. We'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. Jonathan, who are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm just some guy.
Some guy.
Well, right now I'm retired, so I've been retired from the Navy and the banking business for some years now, half a decade or so, and I am a host on the nonprofits. I also crew for a bunch of other shows and on the ACA, but I like being on Helen's show because we tend to get lost in the weeds and distract ourselves by weird tangents that we go on because we both like to talk. So it kind of like goes all over the place, and that's a lot of fun. So, and she asked me to come on, and I said, sure. So here I am. I didn't expect to be wearing this shirt. I have all my T-shirts in the closet, and every time I get one, Brian washes it the next day, and then I put it at the end. So I'm always taking from one end and putting them in the other end. And when they show up, they show up. I got lots of good looks from this one. I had one guy trying to stare me down in the gym, and I just sort of like stared at him for a minute. When he blinked, I just went the other way.
There's a
I was going to say, what are you looking at, dude? But I didn't want to cause a scene, so that's me.
All right.
I'm me.
Yeah. John, it is a nonprofit reunion tonight. So anyway, Jamie.
Hey.
Hi,
I was trying to surprise you with my costume, but I had technical issues because I pulled my flipping headphones out of my microphone. So I am Jamie, also known as the Blind Limey. I am a host on Talk Heathen and occasionally other shows when other people drop out. And I was trying to show you all my sweet cyberpunk street samurai get up that I'm wearing for my convention appearance that I'm going for the convention that I'm going to.
Nice.
It's cool and it lights up. Anyway,
it's got a little Squid Games vibe going there too.
Yeah, it's also why I'm wearing a tack vest right now, and I'm going to be going as a woke AF transforming warrior. So I've got the appropriate the appropriate patches. So also in my day job, I work for the American Cancer Society. I work overnights in their call center, so answering questions about cancer and trying to help people who have a diagnosis. So I know that's part of what we're raising money for. I know acutely how expensive and debilitating a cancer diagnosis can be. So yeah, I'm in it.
Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work.
I most certainly am not.
You don't know Jamie very well, do you?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Unless you are, of course, referring to Lord Thrang Makar, heir to the throne of Your Majesty.
Yeah. I'm totally referring to that.
Isn't that
whatever that was? People doing the Lord's work. I am not thinking about Jamie. So that actually, Jamie did a really nice introduction to a segue that I was not planning. Since we have the three people here that we are raising money for, I thought we would ask them what particular struggles they're currently dealing with, because though we raise money for organizations, it's individuals that are really affected by what is going on. Sometimes income is not enough. Sometimes health insurance is not enough. Because guess what? We live in capitalism, and it's not always kind to us. So I'm going to start with Ember. So I'm going to give you a prominent position. And I kind of want you to tell about what you've been dealing with. And so I also want to point out we already have donations. We're up to $135 so far. So people are already donating. So get on the fucking train, people.
In less than 15 minutes? That's pretty.
No, that is from yesterday. 2 days ago. Yeah. So past couple of days, but we did get a donation about a half an hour ago. So
Dade wants to know how to donate. Do you have
I will put the link in the doobly in the thing. So
I also
excuse me.
I also took
there's
the liberty.
Marley. Thank you, Dade.
I also took the liberty of sort of shrinking down the announcement from Facebook, and I put it on my BlueSky. So
thank you so much. I appreciate
with the donation and streaming links for that.
Alrighty, so do. Let me see if I know how to do this. Do I know how to do this? No. So anyway, go ahead, Amber. I'll figure it out.
Okay. How much time you got? It's a long story.
We have an hour and a half, so.
Right. Okay, so I don't want to get into too much detail, like on the spot and things. Long story short, as short as I can reasonably, I was dealing with a lot of abuse and harassment at my job over an entire fucking year. It started to develop into anxiety, which developed into medical issues, which developed into medical bills. And then they're separate but somewhat related. I was attacked in January, which led to more medical bills, and now I can't work, and there's a lot of bills, and things are very bad, in short.
Okay. So, thank you for sharing. So, is there anything else you wanted to add to that before you start crying? So, I don't want you to cry on camera.
I know. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know. I've never been involved in. I mean, honestly, the fact that you folks are doing a fundraiser to help people, and I'm one of those people. I don't even know how to process that. Like, I'm not the kind of person that people have ever done things for, you know, and I kind of want to cry over that too. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing or how to process this. I'm just Helen asked me to be here, so I'm here.
Well, we're doing this because we love you, honey. So,
We do.
All right, my friend Kyle. All right, I'm gonna let you process, and I bring Kyle up. All right.
All right. Well, so basically, my story is just a series of unfortunate events. So I'm disabled. My partner is disabled. She has spina bifida and she walks with forearm crutches. So she's the primary person that brings in money to the house. She can only work part time because she is drawing Social Security. Sorry, nervous.
It's all right.
Over the last, I want to say 4 months, it started with a garage door malfunction, which we still haven't fixed. We've not been able to get trash out of the house because our bill increased and we only have one can. That we went from 2. They switched our company. We got 1 for the same price as what we were paying for 2. So trash piled up, and then we ended up getting a mouse problem. The mouse problem led to us throwing out pretty much all of our food. And then we were struck by a credit card screw up that left us $1,400 in the hole. And we've just been really trying to get back to where we were before all this. And yeah, so food needs pretty much. And I'm diabetic, so I'm on a very restrictive diet, and there's certain things I've been told I must stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly my favorite foods, which as an autistic person, I have comfort foods that are not good for you. So I've been trying my best to budget, and it's just not been enough. I've been rationing meds, rationing meals. So that's the gist of my story.
And thank you for sharing. Because this was the point of me doing the stream for you guys to share your stories, because it's really important to people to understand what your money's actually going to. Because like a description on a GoFundMe or a Facebook account doesn't have the same impact. So I appreciate you sharing. So, which brings me to Sadie, sweetheart, and thank you, Kyle, for sharing your story so people understand what's going on. So, and my friend Sadie, go ahead, sweetheart.
I don't even know where to start. So
Relatable.
it started a few years ago when I discovered that I had an autoinflammatory condition, and I was in a clinical trial that messed up my immune system, not knowing that I had this condition, and I got COVID, and so I ended up with systemic, multisystemic inflammation throughout my whole body. And last year, I lost my research job due to funding, and I had gotten a new job. I went back to Minnesota part-time during the week, and was home here in Chicago on the weekends, and I had a mammogram, and it ended up coming back with masses. And so then I had surgery. The surgeon gaslit me. I knew I wanted a mastectomy. She said that I was acting like I was crazy. Like, what woman would want to do that? Well, we have choices for a reason. I knew my family cancer risks. My father died of cancer. I discovered that my family has a cancer mutation that causes Li-Fraumeni syndrome, which is a type of cancer risk where you get multiple tumors. She removed the lump, and within 6 months, I had another mass. I was told that it was benign without even doing a biopsy. I had to go to another hospital and not give them access to Care Everywhere so that they could be unbiased. And they did the biopsy, and it showed that it was a different type of tumor. So I have 2 different types of tumors. And I had a positive PET scan where I had the previous lumpectomy, despite showing that there was still cancer activity where I had the lumpectomy. Then in March, I discovered that I had calcifications in my brain. And I don't know, some of you guys know, a couple of years ago when I was in this community, I was assaulted and hit in the head. And there was nothing there at that time. And now there's tumor calcifications in my brain. And I was struggling with cognitive decline. And it's really affected me. There's now metaplasia in my stomach, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm just getting gaslit instead of getting cared for. And because my mutations are not of European descent, they're getting filtered out of clinical testing. I've had to literally come up with my own treatment plan. Discovered a drug that actually stopped myelodysplastic syndrome from progressing. And I'm actually presenting on it in Chicago here at an immunology conference. It's just been crazy. And this week, the past month, I had a mental health crisis because one of the meds was causing psychosis, and I overdosed. And I haven't told anybody in the community yet, but I was in psych. My PCP dropped me in the middle of the crisis. And all she needed to do was do an assessment of my meds. I had told her Monday, 3 days before the crisis, that I was not feeling like I was okay mentally and that there was something wrong. One of my meds was causing problems where I wasn't sleeping, and I was literally dealing with psychosis from a lack of sleep. And instead of helping me, she said, you don't have that problem. And 3 days later, while I was texting her in a crisis, she dropped me. And I ended up in the hospital for a few days, which is why I wasn't around. But I'm okay. And it just makes me want to fight harder to figure out what's going on. I'm now having to find all new doctors because I wasn't getting the care that I needed. So it's been a rough month. And I'm struggling because I am only able to work. I'm working part-time, and I'm trying to find a full-time job, but it's really difficult when you're having to constantly have doctor's appointments to be able to take time off or to even start a new job. So that's why I'm really struggling financially. Just trying to pay for my insurance and my rent.
Can I just say, I'm sorry, unless you're not done yet.
I'm done. And
I don't want to
like this to the community. So this is the first time I've said what has happened.
I am so proud of you, and I'm so proud of Amber and Kyle. I am so proud of you guys for being willing to share your stories and accept the help that we all want to give you guys so bad, because that can be real hard, harder than a lot of other things. And I'm so glad you're willing to do that for us.
It's such a weird feeling because so many of us are debunkers and skeptics, and we see, people, not to name names, but several of the young earth creationist variety, for example, who are constantly saying, buy my DVDs, buy my books, and we call these people out. So for us to turn around, and even though we're in a legitimate awful situation and desperately need help, to ask for help, it feels like we're doing the same thing. And so we put it off and we put it off and we put it off until we can't. And things are very bad. And that's maybe that's just me, but I feel like that's a trend within our community because of the kind of stuff we do.
It's not just the community. I run across in my work this attitude all the time. People who don't want to ask for help. They don't want handouts. They don't want to feel that they're a burden. either through altruistic, like I don't want to take resources from someone else who might need it more, or for selfish reasons because they don't want to admit that it hurts their pride to want to have to come for help. And they often leave it too late to ask for help, to the point where the help that is available just isn't anywhere near the amount that they need to rectify the situation, and would have been far better served if they'd have just come and called us earlier. There's no shame in asking for help. You're not weak for needing the assistance of other people. This country, as wonderful and terrible as it can be, has this pioneer spirit, which is a double-edged sword. To be expected to be self-sufficient and strong without the assistance of others, and the true freedom and liberties to be completely independent on your own, is a complete fallacy. It's not something that is sustainable, and it stops people from getting help, and it encourages people to put into place systems that do not provide those adequate safety nets to people who can't help themselves, because we all need help sometimes. No one can go through life without tribulation. Some people are lucky enough to have a buffer enough to be able to ride the storm, but not everyone else does. So don't ever feel guilty for asking for help, or hesitate to reach out to people who care. Please, I implore you. And I've got individual offers to make to a couple of people. I'm a cancer information specialist. I have access to a resource database. There may be things I can suggest to you for that. And for you, Kyle, for what it would help, if you'd be comfortable sharing a postal address with me, I happen to have been gifted at work some points for good performance, and I can provide a $100 gift card for food delivery or something of that nature. If DoorDash should help or something of that nature, I can mail you a gift card, because quite frankly, there isn't enough help to go around even when we try. But that doesn't mean that this isn't a fight worth having. So let's get on board, eh?
Yeah, well said.
Yeah,
like
well
really,
said.
really well said.
Yeah. Just to piggyback on what Jamie said, this whole notion concerning the United States being this place of a meritocracy is bullshit. And we know that the majority of people who happen to be millionaires and billionaires are there because, somebody opened the door for them. And it's not without merit for asking for help when you're going through a hard time. I mean, I think that, one of the things that has been a criticism of secular communities is that, we are not like the church, who have been doing community for a long time, who have set up our own insular social safety nets for people. But the thing about it is that we just haven't been doing it longer than, churches have. But, community is there to help. I think that all of us who happen to be out here doing activism work, doing, community building work, doing awareness work, as far as even saying that we exist as a people, we experience life. I mean, I'm experiencing life right now. Everybody's experiencing life right now. And it's really okay to say, you know what, I'm not doing well right now. Somebody help me, please. And Sadie, Kyle, and Ember, I'm a social worker by trade. So if I can try to find some resources for you, I would love to. I mean, and Jamie, I was going to say, I reached out to the American Cancer Society too for a number of resources when my mom first got her diagnosis, and they were very much so helpful, especially when it came to trying to get grants for medication that may not have been covered under insurance. So, I'm more than willing to help for that too. But, I'm also encouraging everybody that's out there, please like and share this stream, and also please give, because I would love to one up the faithful community in really supporting people who actually need it. And they're not grifters. We're not grifters. We're really people that are just here because we care about our people that's in our community, and we want to make sure that they not only survive but thrive.
Yeah. I'm not in this for the big bucks. I'm in it for the love of the game.
That's right.
Yeah, we're not buying any.
I am in it
royalties
for the
anybody.
big bucks myself.
I know. What's all that atheist good money that I'm getting?
Listen,
you know.
listen, we're supposed to be, we're making all the secular money, Cynthia.
I just wanted to say real quick that, like this whole thing was a surprise for me, and I'm terrible with surprises.
Same.
Like, for example, I once had a surprise party when I was like 12. I walked in, they yelled happy birthday, and I didn't know what to say, so I said, "You too."
Yeah, for me,
Kyle, sometime when we are just talking, I will tell you the story about that too.
the surgeon that caused me trouble has made it harder for me because there's 5 institutions in Chicago that have literally either not offered a second opinion or gaslit me just because of her.
Oh no.
I'm dealing with 5 institutions that are messing with me. Or that won't.
So we're at $315. So everybody gets $105 so far. So yay! Thank you, everybody. That's already donating. Thank you so much. It is deeply appreciated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, if
Every
I
bit
may,
helps, and if you guys can share it on your social medias, it'd be deeply appreciated. So thank you so much. By the way, this is all going to my personal bank account. And since you're all witnesses, I'm gonna, because it was either that I was like, I guess it's gonna go to my account because I already had a GoFundMe account, so that I will everybody will know the amount and everybody's know what they're gonna get. So I want to have complete transparency that I am going to be giving I'm separating it all into thirds after tomorrow night, and everybody's getting their goddamn money.
Yeah, if I may, I was one of the people who just donated to the GoFundMe. So, and even though, like at Black Nonbelievers, we're in the middle of our own fundraiser, I think it is important for us to continue to support each other. And I want to go back to something that you said, Ember, about feeling like we're doing what the other side does as far as like them promoting themselves. As it may not seem that way, but I do have a hard time asking people to donate to the work that we do. But as a nonprofit and as, the work that we do needs support. I know that people leave the church and they feel like they have been bamboozled, they've been, they've been cheated out of their money. And in many instances that is valid. They have been, and there was an instance where Pastor Marvin Winans, Cynthia and I were talking about this yesterday, and I shared it on my Facebook. This guy had the nerve to publicly shame one of his parishioners, Black woman with her son, for only giving, she was supposedly out of line for giving $1,235 instead of $2,000 that he had and I'm just like, wow, really? So the religious community in many of these churches have a awful practice of demanding a certain amount of money from individual members and embarrassing them when they don't. And yes, I think that any organization that offers community and offers some sort of service and people benefit from it, they should at least contribute to it. However, when you start holding people hostage, for that, I think that's where the difference lies. We don't hold people hostage, to support our organizations. And there is nothing wrong with us being able to sustain ourselves with the work that we do. And also the support that we give to people, because this is not easy. People don't realize that running online platforms, there's a cost to that. To print materials, there's a cost for that. For us to give these things take time and they take money, and it shouldn't be a hard ask. For us to contribute and support each other with even just a few dollars, especially when there are folks in the community who need it, and when folks fall on hard times, because like y'all said, life is lifing for all of us. And because we understand that, we can take even a little that we can to support each other. And sometimes I know we feel bad because, we have to ask, and we don't want to, but because there is a sense of judgment, right? There could be a sense of judgment about, why do you need money? Right. Well, if you appreciate the work we do, if you appreciate the content that is put out, please support it financially. I don't think anyone here is trying to get like this super expensive luxury vehicle or luxury house. And these are basic things that we should be able to sustain ourselves with, even with the work that we do. And I think that, it's important that these community resources are available to each other, especially when we fall on hard times. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. And as someone who was going on 15 years in this community, Black non-believers will be 15 years old in 2026. And when I tell you that I have more hair than this when I started. Oh boy.
Your hair.
And better yet there, Mandisa, you're not trying to buy a private plane for yourself.
No, not
right.
Wow.
Private plane.
Right.
I mean,
right. Because she don't want to talk to those demons in the tubes.
Right.
Think he'd feel an obligation to go on the demon-filled tubes and exorcise the people and set them free and do whatever the thing,
Listen, and you know what? If I could go into talking about the demons and talk about the lion, the lion's den, if I could go in person to debate Kent Hovind like I did last year,
I watched that
debate. You would take a ride on a plane to do that, right?
No, I drove.
But I mean, if some rich atheist offered you a private jet to go do the debate, would you?
I mean, like we all got paid because we went to the No Kings protest last weekend, right?
I'd take
we all got paid.
I'll go.
Right. George Soros sent all of us personal checks in order for us to.
I wasn't even able to go, and I got a check.
He owes me right now for 5 protests that I've attended.
See,
right.
See, you gotta get that.
I'm having NASA money from debunking flat earthers for years.
Oh my God!
Oh, 7 million protesters.
Right.
To substantially
How much money does this man have?
As much as the
right.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't. There's not enough.
Even the richest people in the world don't have that kind of money.
No, they don't. That's why it's ridiculous to say
Elon
that.
couldn't do that.
Well, I mean,
well, maybe Elon could close.
protest.
He could be close. I don't know.
We could never know because he never would.
That's true. That's true.
But I would just close out to say, I'm sorry, Helen, that even the few dollars helps all of our causes, and so I was just very happy to support, with the few dollars that I could contribute. So. Absolutely. And my heart goes out to all of you. I met Ember. I haven't met Sadie and Kyle in person yet, but it's so amazing to meet everyone in person as much as possible. So yeah,
it'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I've gone to one conference and I plan to go to more.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm in Chicago.
I mean, Sadie, holla at a girl. Just saying. All right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right in the middle. Yeah, I'm hoping to go to more stuff myself. I found out on the trip to Kentucky that it's extremely difficult to travel. It was a very painful trip, but I'm hoping things will get better. Ideally, or maybe y'all will come in my general direction. Maybe there'll be a free thinker convention in northern New York State or something. I don't know.
I'll bring my telescope.
Yes.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Just saying. All right.
I vote for more winter things because I could have driven to Kentucky, but I knew that my particular disabilities would not have been able to handle being outside for an entire day in Kentucky in July.
That's valid.
That's a commitment right there.
I've decided that any event I go to, there will be air conditioning and chairs, comfortable beds, and alcohol. Those are the four basic needs that I have, and that's what I'm going to stick with. I did want to say, I know this community because it was 3 years ago that me and my husband thought we were going to lose our house. And I started a GoFundMe, and because people shared it and cared about me in this community, my own family didn't donate money. People in this community donated, and we were able to hire a lawyer, so we were able to get enough money so we could put a down payment on the house that we live in now.
That is awesome.
So just the fact that people think that it doesn't and asking to help for help is hard. And I was shamed by a couple people in my family, like, why are you asking strangers for help? I'm like, because if you, and also too, if you and we would say, even if you can't donate, sharing is enough, because some people are like, hey, I got an extra $5, somebody's struggling, I will not buy Starbucks this week, I will give $5. That makes a huge difference. And the fact that people are willing just to be like, you know what, I don't have the money right now, but I know people, and especially if they know and trust you, they'll go, this person cares about this person, and that alone makes me want to. I've done it before. Somebody that I don't know shared a GoFundMe, and because it was done by someone I trusted and cared about, I was like, they care about this person, so I'm going to care. And that's what we do. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we're having this fundraiser, because we love all of you, and we have to take care of each other, because guess what? Nobody's coming to fucking save us. We have to take care of each other.
Absolutely true.
Well, no, I disagree. Clearly, we are coming to save us.
Okay, no deity is coming to save us.
okay. Agree.
No magical power or no billionaire. Like, I mean, how many things have we seen recently where, a person will say something horrible to a 5-year-old child and end up suffering social repercussions, do a fundraiser and end up a millionaire within 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Or a marching band wants to go play at a certain wannabe dictator's parade or whatever, and because of his racist policies, they can't go, so they hold a GoFundMe and raise $1 million within 24 hours. Like, there's so much money for hate in the world. So it's like unlimited amounts of money for hate.
The other big difference between this sort of fundraiser and the grifters is that you're all seeking legitimate, evidence-based scientific treatment for what you're going through. We're not talking about faith healing. We're not talking about alternative medicine, which is a billions and billions of dollar industry every year. Goes billions and billions goes to alternative medicine and faith healing. Imagine if that money went to the secular community. Imagine if that money went to science and cancer research instead of fake cancer treatments based on activated water.
Which probably would make an awful lot of money in a GoFundMe as well. That's just because the people who believe in that kind of crap really do pay for that shit.
My brother has Parkinson's.
You want to share what
he asked all of his friends to buy him colloidal silver,
and they shared with me last night?
I'm sorry,
I couldn't hear that.
I was talking to Sadie.
That was me.
Said, oh, okay.
I actually
I said,
discovered a drug.
On this topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. I want you to explain your own experiment that you're doing on yourself.
Okay, so in April, so I'm a scientist, so I'm not very good at talking to clinicians because I speak science and they speak clinician. It's like speaking like Klingon to them. So I was on AI. I was working with ChatGTP, and I was trying to find one of my cytokines was really high, and it freaked me out. This was in April before I started my low-dose naltrexone that actually helped a lot of my neurologic symptoms. And I saw that, and I was like, I knew I needed an NLRP3 inhibitor. And these drugs are literally they're in clinical trials right now, but they're not available to the public. So I would have had to try to get in a trial, but
or get a doctor that's willing to do compassionate use or something like that. And even that,
and they don't have compassionate use. I was literally talking to the guy that literally found my disease, which is called cryopyrin-associated periodic syndrome, and it's caused by an NLRP3 mutation. But my mutation is weird. It's called a gain of function, and even the current NLRP3 inhibitors that are out in trials right now, my mutation it doesn't work. It causes toxicity because they can't shut it off completely with an NLRP3 inhibitor. And so I started looking online. What are there NLRP3 drugs that are molecules that have been discovered that like they use in labs to target NLRP3? And I came across an old antiplatelet drug, which is used in strokes. It's from the 1960s. It's called Epidimal, and it targets the gene above NLRP3. And so then it's literally targeting that gene instead of my gene, which is harder to target. So targeting upstream of that shuts off the NLRP3 a different way. And so I told my doctor about it. I said, hey, what about this drug? Like, I need an NLRP3 inhibitor and this might work. But we kind of shelved it until June, when my labs started looking like I was heading towards myelodysplastic syndrome. And then I was like, I need an NLRP3 inhibitor. I knew that because the inflammation was causing it and I needed to shut it off. I had a bone marrow biopsy. Thankfully, it had not hit my bone marrow yet. So I didn't have cytopenia or anything like that yet. But my lipids were elevated. My ferritin was really high, and it had been high for over 2 years. And I knew I was looking at less than a year if I progressed to myelodysplastic syndrome, and that there was no cure for me because my body wouldn't tolerate a transplant, not with the mutation that I have. You would literally have to wipe out every single white blood cell in my body for that to work. And you can't wipe out fibroblasts because you can't do that. There's no way I could have done it.
Even in a typically healthy person, that kind of treatment, like full bone marrow transplants, it's incredibly risky. It's one of the reasons why we reduce our eligibility for lodging for people traveling for either bone marrow or stem cell transplants or CAR T therapy, because if something goes wrong, it goes wrong fast, and you've got to be in the emergency room in 30 minutes or less, or you're dead. It's like it's that. And you're completely immunocompromised. It takes weeks, and it's only got a 50% success rate.
Yeah, and so I would have been looking at a splenectomy, and with my fibroblasts, which are also impacted by my mutation, there's no way that it would have worked. So I would have been looking at palliative care. So I talked to my doctor. I talked to this guy in San Diego who's like a top expert. I said, hey, I found this drug. All right, I said to him, are the NLRP3 inhibitors available for compassionate use yet? He said no. He said, but I should try. He actually told me maybe I should be trying this drug in my patients. And for me as an undergrad student, I was like, okay, this is big. Like, I really did find something big. And I had already started the drug. My PCP was like, I don't know what, we're going to just try it, because it was like a Hail Mary. It's either this or nothing. And within 2 weeks, my ferritin was normal and my lipids started going back down. My PET scan is showing reduced metabolic activity in my breast. That was high. It's still showing, but I'm not in a condition right now where I can have a mastectomy. My body, I lost 7 pounds just in a week. Like, there's no way I can go through it right now. The reconstruction would be too much for my body. And so I was pretty excited about that. And then I just found out that I got accepted to present my paper. I wrote a paper and I'm still working on it, but just the acknowledgement from my immunology community and my rheumatology community, when all the rest of the medical community is gaslighting me, is enough to keep me going. That I actually found something that's going to help people. I've had international doctors like telling me this is great because they don't have access to these drugs, and the gene I have is more prominent in the Asian countries. So they're the ones that are more affected by it. And so that's why it's more difficult here. So to me, that was a bit worth it. And I'm glad I'm still here, that I can go and present. But I know I found something big. So.
That's awesome, Sadie.
That's
Congratulations.
Yep, definitely.
And I'm glad that you're still around to actually be able to present this information. You know, I want to tell a short story. I promise it'll be short. Maybe. Mandiza knows. But
I know too, Cynthia.
yeah, and Ron Jonathan knows. They all know.
No comment.
No, I just remember when I went to Vegas this past May for my birthday, and I remember myself and my friend was in an Uber going to, I don't know where exactly we were going. So I think we were going to go to like one of those like new resorts that they were building in Vegas that they were trying to get investments for, and we got into a car with a guy who was like a flat earther, just like a science denier, all this other stuff, right? And so, and as he kept talking, I just asked him, I was like, where are you getting this from? Right. And because because one of the things he was saying, well, I get it from, others on the internet and stuff like that. I said, so you don't read books? And he's like, no, because books are full of lies. And I was like, and you don't listen to scientists. And he's like, no, because they're just trying to, they just get rich off of, off a sticker. And I was like,
I made $18 an hour as a tech.
And then
but freaking Witsit on YouTube, he's the one who'll tell you the truth.
Right, yeah, all this stuff, and then towards the end of our ride before we got out the car, that's when I says, the next thing you're gonna be telling me that you're a flat earther. He's like, I am, and I was like, and how do you know that the Earth is flat? He said, because I know. I was like, okay, time to go. But it's kind of crazy to me that people are constantly not necessarily like listening to scientists and actually, listening to what the science says, because they are so, they think that, all these scientists are getting like this major, like, endowments and funds and stuff like that to lie to people. Right. And the thing about it is that like everything that we know to treat diseases, to treat bacteria, to treat virus infections, to treat everything is because of science, And I mean, like, I just even think of like, like some of like the cancers, drugs that, my mom was a histotechnologist at the University of Chicago. Yeah, see? Hey,
she still is?
No, she's retired now. Okay. Yeah, she's retired. But, like her main thing was doing, was collecting tissue for and to work on cancer patients to develop drugs at the University of Chicago. And it's kind of interesting that like some of the same drugs that she's taking right now, because, she has multiple myeloma, is like some of the research that she did back in the day when she was like, doing, the work. And then even like, she even, kind of did like, some research concerning like, collecting tissue samples to study MMR, not MMR, but mRNA delivery systems, like, for drugs, like especially when it came to flu and other viral infections. Right. So, so like I come from this, background where like, I work with a person who actually worked with other like, doctors and scientists in order to develop, drugs to help people live. Right. And then like, actually listening to people denying like science but they are not using any type of rationality or logic in order for them to come to the conclusions. It's baffling to me.
I'm still waiting to hear what the big benefit is of convincing everybody that the Earth is round. Like, what are they getting out of this?
That part, like, I don't understand, like, what, like, okay, the benefit
we're making all the money off the globes, Coleman. That's what's
happening.
Yeah, like, it's big globe. Right, that's what it is, Coleman.
They're selling globes.
I actually know the answer to this one. And of course, the story varies from flat earther to flat earther. But if you press them and press them and press them, you're going to get one of two answers. The first is that this book says the Earth is flat. If the Earth is flat, then this book is true, and we can save everyone's souls by demonstrating it's true. Ta-da. The other is that there's actually much more land beyond the ice wall that the governments and the powers that be are hiding from us. They don't want us to have access to, settle and build our suburbs and whatnot. They want to be able to just mine the gold and strip the platinum and whatever the heck else they want to do out there. They want it just for themselves. And
Isn't
we're all
that where
trapped
the
inside
aliens
the
live?
ice wall.
Beyond the ice wall?
What's that?
Isn't
No,
that
it's
where the
where the
aliens
White
live?
Walkers live.
The White Walkers, yeah.
It
White
depends
Walkers.
on which. They all have their own individual idea, but those are the general shapes of things. I mean, I've heard some that say that we're actually trapped inside a crater on the moon, and we're seeing the reflection of the moon in the dome, but we're on the moon.
Okay.
And it's a whole thing.
Well, that would explain
Proves
that one time for 5 minutes when I experienced less gravity than when I was on the Earth. I guess that gravity in that particular area wasn't working as well as it was in another area.
The thing is, though, but aren't you supposed to be lighter? If you're on the moon than you are on Earth.
Yeah. So what had happened was I jumped off my porch, right? I jumped and I was able to jump again. And then obviously I was experiencing less gravity, right?
Like in Mario.
So, exactly.
Double jump.
I was right. I was
Double
double
jump, you
jumping.
achieved it.
Yes, I was double jump so that I can go ahead and get the mushroom, right? So that I can go ahead and be like Fiery Mario. It's a Fiery Mario. And
Are
then
you sure mushrooms didn't have anything to do with it?
Maybe. They know they had everything to do with
it. Allegedly.
This does not constitute an admission of guilt in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
But yes, the wonders of science can do amazing things. Like that one time that science convinced me that I myself was the opening title sequence to the British soap opera EastEnders. That was a weird night.
Wow. Listen,
now I need to know what
had me have a conversation with Hippie Jesus, and Hippie Jesus said I should just be kind and love everybody, and I was like, cool, Hippie Jesus. I'm along with Hippie Jesus.
I mean, to be honest, like if we're looking at the Gospels, that's what Jesus is.
Now, like Hippie Jesus was totally cool. Like I was like, I like Hippie Jesus. Coleman, like when you said before about actually using science to like help people actually get help for the things that they're going through. I was thinking today because I work in home health and one of our clients, she has liver cancer and she decided that she was going to go a holistic route. And it's so hard because I'm like, oh, I really want to tell you not to, but also it's financial because her husband has a bunch of health problems and he has to go into assisted living. So I think a lot of it too comes down to financial because of the cost of the American healthcare system. People kind of default thinking that they're going to get the same kind of, hopefully they'll get the same type of treatment at a quarter or half the cost. But it ends up costing more in the long run because they invest all this money and then whatever sort of condition they have gets worse. And then that's going to accrue costs more in the future. Then that's not what they're really thinking about when they're in crisis.
Do you mean holistic or naturalistic or homeopathic? Because holistic
they said
isn't actually
holistic,
bad.
which I'm taking to mean is that I'm not going to use. She didn't want to go to chemo, basically.
Yeah, so
I would have had to do that.
Holistic techniques can be used as part of a cancer care strategy. It's known as integrative care, but it's not used instead of mainstream treatments.
No, she's doing it instead of doing like.
Then it's what we would call alternative medicine,
which is bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of it's either untested or actually harmful.
There's a reason it's not called medicine.
Yeah, and much like alternative facts, it's a bunch of shit.
Yes,
and yes, it is very frustrating to be in the healthcare system or healthcare adjacent and be bound by the precepts of your role to not just say don't do that, don't go to a shady fucking thing. They're all in New Mexico. There's one particular town in New Mexico which is like just this hub for woo, and it's just Oh yeah, I'm looking for
Don't
financial.
tell Ben.
Jamie, do you know?
Jamie, don't tell Ben.
Jamie, do
Is
you
that why Ben
know
moved
how?
there?
I'm not going to say which town I think it is because that would be probably bad.
Do you? I mean,
town.
like, do you guys know how many times that I have sat across the aisle with patients who would tell me that they wanted to go a naturalistic route instead of actually taking medication to treat whatever type of ailment that they were dealing with? My first go at social work was working with patients that were HIV positive. And I had a couple who would tell me that they didn't want to take the ARTs because, you know, they felt that going a naturalistic route or taking some herb or some weed or both would help, you know, cure them or completely quell the virus that happens to be in their system. And I would just have like this look of,
Why not bleach?
I mean, right. You won't you just inject yourself with Clorox? Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's been a few times where I just want to just like take my hands and go, no, don't do this. What is wrong with you? I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, and then like, you know, so it's been a couple of times where I would just say like, you know what? I'm not discouraging you from being more naturalistic and wanting to eat more healthy and looking at other, you know, things that can help you, you know, with your within your journey to becoming well. However, let me just pose this to you: how long has HIV been around that we know of? Since like what, the 70s, right? I would say the mid to late
late 70s, early 80s.
Pushing
Right.
50 years at this point.
Right, exactly. Okay. So, don't you think that if there was some type of natural herb or something to that effect that could have made this virus go bye-bye?
Oh, they would have done it?
They would have done that already.
Well, that's where the conspiracy comes in.
That
because
part
Big
right
Pharma
there.
won't
That
admit
part.
a cure when you can treat.
Exactly.
The
No,
thing
they
is-
Especially
had
since
the
we
cure.
all know that oregano does that, right?
Oh yeah. Oregano,
Garlic,
parsley,
was
sage,
a-
rosemary, and thyme. There you go.
It was a really good point about the cost thing because, you know, if Bernie Sanders got his way and we had a single payer healthcare system and science-based medicine was free and alternative medicine was expensive instead of what it is right now, which is that if you want real medicine, you have to pay through the nose for it, whereas herbal medicine or alternative medicine can be cheaper. It might not be, but it can at least seem cheaper, even though it
In the
does
short run.
absolutely nothing or is harmful.
Mhm.
It's still a better deal in the eyes of some people. And so yeah, if we had good healthcare that was the cost effective option, that's what people would go for. It blows my mind. I just learned that a lot of insurance companies cover chiropractic. It's like, what the hell? What are you doing that for? That's just-
Chiropractic is considered primary care. So
They won't even
chiropractors
cover
can
my
be
low
considered.
dose
They can be
naltrexone.
they can be considered primary care providers for people, so like they can
There's
actually
history
get that.
behind that.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
A lot of
but
people
I mean, but
don't-
it's
There's history
a
behind it.
they
thing.
don't register that it's pseudoscience. They just
Yeah,
don't have
it's
it on their
insane.
radar.
Why cover chiropractic and not, you know, voodoo or Reiki or you know
Right.
any
Well,
or
like
crystal
my
healing?
ex-husband is starting
It has a
to use
lot
his
to
own
do with the
chiropractic
history of it.
business.
It has an
My
awful lot
ex-husband's
to do
starting
with
his
the
own
history.
chiropractic business, and my oldest is having you know, back problems, and they're like, hey, and so they sent over, like, you know, they've been talking to their dad about the health issues, and the doctor that they're working with is like, well, they should go through the system. And I'm like, you need to tell your father no. And because like they don't believe in pseudoscience, and because I keep saying, I'm like, unless you, and I'm like, your dad's making a really bad choice because he's opening himself up to a lot of lawsuits. So I'm just saying, because it's pseudoscience, and there's study after study after study of it being
I mean, listen,
pseudoscience.
let me tell you something. I'm all down for a really good massage. Like
me too. I have so many knots in my fucking back right now.
Yeah, right. You
It
know,
feels
like
good to get
listen,
your back cracked.
it really does. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
chiropractors aren't
yeah.
even that. They aren't even good at giving massages.
Well,
No,
that's why
but
I
they
don't go
will
to a
crack the F out of
chiropractor.
your back.
Right. No, I won't go to a chiropractor. I go to a massage therapist, you know, get
Exactly.
myself
Right,
you know,
right.
and just like go ahead and just rub and get down into the tissue. I mean, that's all good, you know, but like all this other stuff. I mean,
When they
but
use
like,
their
yeah.
elbows.
Yeah, like I mean, like, you know, it killed. I remember when I found out that, you know, chiropractors can actually like register to be primary care physicians. I was like, wait, what? Like how? Like that's crazy to me. But I think that like a lot of times, because we are in this capitalistic society where they basically have taken the wherewithal for us to be able to actually treat people and put it behind a paywall, right? Instead of actually being the being of the sentiment of saying that, hey, we have a social contract with the people who actually live in our country, and we should provide things in order for them to be able to live a salient life, like healthcare, right? And especially when
like all the other
which
industrialized nations in the world.
Can't be done. Can't be done. What are you talking about? That can't be done.
Right.
Well,
It's too expensive.
If Costa Rica can do it, anybody can do it, right?
I mean, hell,
we give so much
Barbados
money to
has
Saudi
it.
Arabia right now that they have universal health care.
Aruba.
So I'm just saying.
I have literally been told
Israel has free college and free health care, and we are giving them billions of dollars a year. And my thing is, it's like, if we're able to give all this money to this country plus others to provide things that we should provide to our other constituents right here who are struggling, okay, then why can't we? It's not like that we can't do it. All the statisticians got together and actually came up with the numbers to say what would it cost in order to ensure every American with a single payer health system, like a Medicare plan, you know, Part A, Part B, even if you want to do Advantage. And it's cheaper than what the hell that we have right now. It's just that we just have such a struggle. We just have a stranglehold concerning, like, you know, capitalism on the way that we actually like operate as a country, that we can't even, like, you know, take our minds to like, hey, it makes more sense for us to invest in our people and actually, you know, provide these social safety nets for them, which will be cheaper. They will live better lives. And we even have like a more happy constituency because we do these things.
They don't care about
work more.
Having to learn about the insurance systems here, as both to live here as my job. And it's the only job I've ever had. I've worked for the American Cancer Society from literally the moment I was legally allowed to work and haven't stopped since. I've had to learn concepts that are almost alien, like the idea that indeed there is a dollar value to a human life measured in against shareholder value for these companies. And I keep saying to myself that if I ever wanted to get paid for killing people, I'd just become an assassin rather than a flipping insurance adjuster for a medical insurance company.
Hey, Jamie, this is America. We've been putting a dollar sign on human value since the conception of the fucking United States Constitution.
Yeah,
hell, it was even in the Articles of the Confederation.
Even before that, it was a British system then. Then the British were very
established the value of a human life on the fucking auction block.
Exactly. Since the 1670s, 1680s.
I have been told.
It's okay, Kyle. We'll see you tomorrow. We love you.
Love you too, Kyle.
I have been told so many times that because of my disabilities, I have worked less than I haven't worked in my adult life, because, you know, there are times when I've been able to and times when I haven't been, and the times when I haven't been are longer. And I have literally been told that I have not contributed enough to America to be able to deserve healthcare, even the healthcare I get right now, which is nuts.
Yeah.
It's great.
When I was dealing with myelodysplastic syndrome, I tried to apply for SSDI, and it, like I would have not seen a penny if I would have had less than a year. Like by the time they would have approved it, like even with a compassion allowance where you can get it faster, I still would have had to wait 6 months once it was approved for the CAL before I even saw a dime.
Yeah,
Even though I've paid my whole life into it, I would have never gotten anything. I would have been homeless, dying of cancer.
That story is so common that just people they apply, and it just takes too long that they just don't have the savings or the resources or support systems to enable them to continue living even a moderately normal life.
My
we're
oldest
in a
is
state where
waiting.
we're losing our jobs because of I'm a scientist. You know what's going on in the world right now, so I don't have a job in science.
Yeah.
Like my oldest is waiting to get on Social Security because they have 3 cysts on their brain that causes like chronic migraines. They had to drop out of grad school because they were in pharmacy school, and my oldest is whip smart, and they would study, get a migraine, and they would forget everything that they learned. And I think that, and then so it was just a waste of time for them to go to grad school, and they're just waiting to get on Social Security, and they're afraid to work full time because if they start working full time, they will not get those benefits. But they need the benefits because there are times when they can't go to work because they have health issues, like they're having weird neuropathy pain, and that they can't explain. And then they went to the doctor, and they're like, well, that basically dismissed them because they're, as you said, Sadie, they're clinicians, and then they have to go get a second opinion, which costs time and money. And luckily, me, my husband and my roommate are in a place where we can support. But like, that's the reality. And the fact that we're sitting there, like, I'm like, listen, I really wish you were paying rent right now because it's a little tight, but I have that privilege. But if me and my husband get sick, what's going to happen?
It's just me. I don't have anybody.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Job.
It is so, even if you have 4 people living in a household contributing to, the daily bills and everything, you're still not stable because of the way the system is set up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The thing is that I did what the Republicans say you're supposed to do. I didn't use the system because I am privileged enough to have had family money. But at this point, I have used up that resource. And now I haven't worked in too long to qualify for, government help. Because I didn't use government help sooner than I absolutely needed to. I mean, it's insane.
It is.
Yep. Yeah, it's not about providing service. It's about how much money can we squeeze out of you for as long as possible. I mean, it's not that I think that having private healthcare to me is just immoral from its core. I mean, when you're putting dollars versus somebody else's well-being, people are gonna, some people are gonna choose the dollars, right? And so that it's unfair.
Let's be real. All of them are choosing the dollar.
That's a big
all of them
thing.
choose the dollar.
So in a past life, I wrote for a bunch of publications, including USA Today and a few others. But I mentioned that one in specific because I wrote an article back when Hillary Clinton was still the first lady about the case for universal health care, because that was a thing she was pushing at the time, right? And ultimately, it boils down to a very simple idea that private health care, because it's for profit, it cannot be for people. They're incompatible ideas.
Yeah,
exactly. And then we're not even going to talk about like how like some of these insurance companies that are still living, were also complicit in insuring these slaves.
What's crazy is the institution that gaslit me is the one that trained me in immunology.
That's
crazy.
That's what's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys trained me.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. Thank you so much, Helen, for having me. I enjoyed it
I'll
a
see you
lot.
tomorrow.
I gotta head out.
I also
Love
must.
you all. Talk to
Yeah.
you
All
later.
right. Thank you.
Love
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you both tomorrow. Love you
Yeah.
bunches.
Also go, because speaking of working for the American Cancer
Yeah,
Society, I'll
no,
start doing that in a
go
couple of hours.
Do it.
Go
Go
do
do
your
it,
work,
man.
Jamie.
Yeah, and I
See
have to
tomorrow.
watch my. I have to go, guys. I have to watch my kid.
No,
That has nothing to do with the American Human
Give your
Society.
monkey butt a kiss from his Auntie Helen.
You can't just throw them in the bathtub and you know, hang them on a line and have them dry that way. Is that?
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Get into the wall like they did back in colonial times.
Oh my God! Please.
Oh, I broke my kitty bracelet, guys.
Oh my gosh! Oh my.
Everything's going to hell all at once.
Bye, Cynthia.
I
Good
will
to
see
see
you
you
guys
again.
tomorrow night.
I love you,
all have a
Cynthia.
good one.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Love you, sweetie.
You.
Okay. Sorry, I was having a tragic moment. I broke my gay bracelet.
Oh
I'm
no.
so sad now.
No, you can't be gay. What
I
have you
can't
done?
be gay
Can't be gay
anymore.
without your
It's over.
bracelet.
Is that
It's
what
like
it takes?
I'm
That's all
only
it
gay
takes?
when I have my gay shirt on. You know, that's
That's
the way
right.
it works. You know.
I do want to say, like, I really like me and Wes and AJ kind of threw this together within the past couple of weeks, and the fact that so many people like stepped up so fast, because like Wes wanted to do something for Sadie, and I wanted to do something for Ember and Kyle, and then we were like, he's like, well, we do a Halloween stream, and I was like, and then AJ has been my wonderful atheist partner in crime, and Ethan Michael from My Friendly Neighborhood Atheist has also stepped up to do producing. So like, and this was all planned within like a week and a half. Like, it was that fast, and the fact that so many people stepped up, that we were just bugging people like, hey, can you help out, and the fact that so many people like said I will help means so much to us. It means so much. It really does, because it's hard. It's really hard. Especially because we're all busy and we all have our own things going on, and we all have our own issues or whatever, like, just life is hard. But the fact that so many of the people not only showed up to help with the fundraiser tomorrow, but the fact that people were like, hey, I'll share, I'll whatever you want me to do, I'm more than willing to help out. It means a lot. So like, thank you everybody, even if you are just sharing the links, and if you need help with that or whatever, just like come bug me. You like slide in my DMs. I will send you links and shit like that. It takes me like 2 seconds. So it's fine. But the fact that, and thank you guys for giving your time and energy for that. Cause like I had this minute, like yesterday, I was like, I should have a stream tomorrow to promote the fundraiser. So the fact that I was like, hey, everybody, you busy tomorrow? So thank you so much to everybody.
I'd just like to say, to remind everybody who's listening or not listening or half listening, that there's a fundraiser here. We need your help. So why don't you take a look at it? If you can't give yourself, pass it around.
I put the link back in the thing.
And so the link's in there. Go click on it. And
I'm going to be hanging out with some rheumatologists tomorrow, so I'll be here a little bit late.
That's fine.
But I'm going to be networking, so that's good.
Excellent.
Yeah, network is the thing. That's one of the things I do best is networking. And I mean, like the fact that I met Coleman through our friend Rob through Recovering from Religion, and the fact that you're willing, like, we haven't talked that much, and the fact that you're willing to help out means so, like, thank you so much, sweetheart. Because like a lot of these people I know really well, and you and I have only talked a few times, and the fact that you're willing to help means so much. So thank you.
Everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to remind everybody to show up for the stream tomorrow night. It is at 6 p.m. Central. I should probably put a link to the stream as well. Probably do that. I'll do that
Links
as well. So
everywhere in everything.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Do
Things.
a little late.
Every social media you can manage. Yeah.
All the social medias.
I'm not on a lot of them anymore. I quit a bunch of them as soon as they became toxic. So
valid.
Yeah, well, some of us didn't have some of us still can too. I'm just kidding. Also as well, the fact that if you can just share the stream, share the links, it is deeply appreciated. We're going to have so much fun tomorrow night. There's going to be costumes, and if you show up at 10 p.m. Central, I will baptize you. So if you want to be unbaptized, Ember's been unbaptized.
All right.
We did last year or the year before, something like that. Last year it was an adventure.
What happens if
I'd
you
love
get
to, but I
unbaptized and you were never baptized? Can you bank an unbaptism? And
You
then
can have a negative baptism. Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. Gotcha.
Yes.
I was going to say that's my problem. I was never baptized.
Yeah, me neither.
That's how you get into hell, Scott. Is that you're unbaptized?
I got ghost here.
I know how to get out of hell too. So I'm
That's exactly.
Escape artist there.
Ghost as my background.
I played Doom. I know. You just keep shooting the big eyeball guys until you get through the doors, and then
have a no place because that's the most important part. All right. So thank you for everyone that being here on the stream. Again, thank you so much for to all my wonderful guests and people that are going to be there tomorrow. Again, please like and subscribe to my channel. Do that first, and then subscribe to Skeptic Haven for the stream, and give some money to the GoFundMe. $5 is $5. So, as they always say, $5 is $5.
It does add up. Like,
it does.
I mean,
if 10 people give $5, that's $50. Like that, it adds up fast.
If 100 people give $5,
there you go. See,
or a channel like my channel has just over 2,000 subscribers. If I could get every subscriber to give $1, that's $2,000.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
Even just $1. It adds up when people do it together.
I have 234 subscribers. That's $234 if everybody gave $1.
I hate to break it to you, Helen. I see 246 on my tally here.
246. Sorry.
So you've gained just in the last 10 seconds. You've gained 12 more subscribers.
And also I will also be doing another charity stream for another nonprofit organization that Jason Friedman is happening when I have my 1-year anniversary. So because I really believe that we as a community can say, like, fuck you, religion. We are also wonderful giving people, and we can do it just through the power of the peoples. So thank you so much again. I wish everyone a wonderful night. Again, please come tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central over on Skeptic Haven.
You know how many times I've had religious people say they'll pray for me when I was like almost homeless? It's like, thanks.
Yeah, I was homeless for 8 years.
Thanks
I got
for nothing. Yeah.
When I was a truck driver,
become unhomeless.
Yeah, I came across a homeless dude in just outside New York City, and he was in middle of winter. He's like huddled up on a bench with the breath and whatnot, and like I kept seeing people like going, "Oh, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you," and they'd like hand him $1 or whatever, and that's great. But like, I just went to a thrift store and I got him a fucking blanket. Like, you can say, "I'll pray for you." 1,000 people pray for you. One atheist brings a blanket.
Right.
Go figure.
That's right.
Prayer requires action.
Even if you're religious or not, as people helping people at the end of the day, and that's what matters. So so
definitely.
Hey, maybe we can teach the religious a little bit about what it means to give. So everybody, I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful night. Thank you for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, so much. Meet all your wacky friends.
Give them money. Help them because they're wonderful people. Also, go subscribe to buy some astrophotography from Kyle, because I have stuff that I'm going to put up on my wall at some point, but I am framing it. Ember does really great content on her channel, and Sadie just does she's just an amazing human being. And support scientists because they are desperately not appreciated enough in the society. So please support our wonderful scientists and
definitely.
friends. All right, love you all.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Be kind, give a compliment to somebody, and stay skeptical. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night.